On to more breaking news this evening. Nearly 100 vehicles were broken into overnight across the city of Fargo.
Police are looking for two people now on your screen believed to be responsible. They say these photos were taken on the north side of the town. Valley News Team's Courtney Lockie joins us now live in another part of town also hit hard by vandals. Courtney?
Justin, Stacy, that's right. This crime spree really was one that took place all across the city of Fargo. These thieves were looking for where a lot of cars are, so that includes underground parking garages and outdoor parking lots. I'm standing outside of the Timber Creek Apartments that's right across the street from Sweet Shots, another area that was hit hard. Fargo police tell me that these calls started rolling in around 2 this morning. They say that some of these were smash and grabs. Other people simply left their vehicles unlocked. The thieves were looking for anything of value. Specifically, they were targeting cash and wallets. Police tell me that these crimes did take place between 10:30 last night and 6 this morning, so keep that in mind. They are looking for the people responsible. We showed you their picture earlier. If we could bring that up again. These two people they're looking for, they believe they were working together. They were seen doing so on the north side of town. Now, Fargo police also took a minute to talk about just how serious these crimes are today.
We look at every crime, especially felony level crime, but every crime as a concern. We track the numbers on this. People are being victimized, whether their car is being stolen or their valuables are being taken out of the vehicle. So this is a felony level offense, and we take this seriously.
Police did offer some advice so that this doesn't happen to you. They say you should always be locking your car no matter where you park it, even if you're in a garage. If you can't park in a garage, try to park in a well-lit area. And of course, don't leave anything valuable in your vehicle. If you were a victim or you believe that somebody may have gone through your car, call Fargo police so that you can help them and then they can help you. Reporting live tonight in South Fargo, Courtney Lockie, Valley News Live.
Thank you, Courtney. And we have more advice for that large number of victims, including how to document the damage and follow up with your insurance company on our website, valleynewslive.com.
All right.